Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IWN YouTube channel. This is your WWE Monday Night Raw, June the 22nd, 2026 review. If y'all are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you turn on that bell for all notifications. I just put my schedule on YouTube community tab not too long ago. I made a little schedule change because the timing for SmackDown in London and the day for it I had it mixed up. It had me confused. I thought SmackDown was airing on Netflix internationally in USA at 2 p.m. tomorrow, but that's not the case. So I had to change the schedule. So we will still be live for SmackDown Friday night. We'll also be live for NXT tomorrow, Evolve Succession 3 Wednesday night, and of course SmackDown Friday and AAA. We'll be live for Night of Champions before AAA though. So Saturday we'll be live with Night of Champions watch along first, and then the AAA watch along for episode 24. And then we'll be live for the NXT Great American Bash premium live event. The schedule is almost full. I only have Friday night off, so my new YouTube schedule has been posted on the YouTube community tab. Y'all can go check it out and read it if you want. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Monday Night Raw review because we got a couple of WWE news to go over, and I have my thoughts on every single article that I've seen on Twitter X tonight. Got a lot of stuff to go over here. Okay. So some of y'all are going to be disappointed about what I'm about to tell you, and some of you are not. I'm going to be straight up honest with y'all right now out of the gate. Usually, Monday Night Raw delivers solid shows almost every week. But for the first time in a long time, I can honestly say that Monday Night Raw was an awful show tonight. I'm talking mid-seat garbage, flat, boring, go home, television, 5 days out from radio. I am tired, man. Really. Well, make sure y'all hit the like button, comment your overall show grade, A to F, in the live chat or in the comments when the stream gets processed. Subscribe, ring that bell. We are grinding hard to 1,000 subs. And every single one of y'all pushing that button keeps the IWN channel alive. You can drop your country flag in the live chat if y'all want to. Y'all can even tell me where y'all are from. I see y'all worldwide every Monday night. So, anyways, Oba Femi opens Raw talking King of the Ring, Destiny. And don't forget, this is audio only, by the way. I always do this because I don't usually do Monday Night Raw reviews. I usually do Monday Night Raw watch-alongs and results. But sometimes I have the camera on. Most of the time I have it off when I do my results. So when it comes to the watch-along and live reactions and comments and stuff, live reaction commentary, I have my camera on, webcam on. But yes, Oba Femi opens Raw talking King of the Ring, Destiny, and fate has been kind to me. Which champion do I challenge? Then Yeet music hits. Here comes Jey Uso talking Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam again. And he calls it a warning shot. Trust me, I watched the whole fucking show. I did not enjoy it. It was not exciting or that important. They didn't do enough to make it feel important. Hell, they didn't do enough to make Night of Champions feel important. Femi looks him dead in the face and says, "Take that bullet to your cousin. I am coming for all of it." The reason why this was a fine opener was only because of Oba Femi. The crowd was half asleep. Chat, tell me right now, do you actually buy Oba Femi versus Jey Uso as your King of the Ring final? Because we are going to talk about that for a few hours after this Raw review. In other words, we're going to go over the real reason why Oba Femi beating Jey Uso is the right decision and makes sense. We're going to go over that later, probably after the review. We're also going to go over news on Ruca, Mike Santana, and what was the other one? Ruca, Mike Santana, and Dode's plans for Rey Fenix AAA Cruiserweight title reign. I found something out about that. So we got a couple of news to go over there, here and there for a while in the stream and get ready to schedule the NXT watch along for Tuesday night. I got to do the thumbnail first and put in descriptions and all that, which sometimes it takes long, sometimes it don't. Depends on how I want it. I make sure it's enough for you guys to tune in. I make sure I try to get attention. I mean, not attention, but you guys know what I mean. So yeah, we'll go over the news on Ruca, Rey Fenix, and Mike Santana. A little after we go over why Oba beating Jey is the right decision and why it makes sense. But yeah, let me know what you think of Oba versus Jey Uso, man. I would love to know from y'all, seriously. I already gotten some likes on my tweets on Twitter X. So anyways, moving on here. Like I said, I got a whole rant ready for why Oba is the only option to beat Jey. Okay. And I got, and of course, LA Knight finds Adam Pearce backstage. Jimmy Uso made for later. And man, Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight. I got to be honest. This was a pretty boring match. I have seen this match 100 times already. And I'm sure, live chat, I'm sure you guys have seen this too. They need to give us fresh matches. Like, please, WWE, give us fresh matches, new stories, something. Draft or something, man. Oh. And please, man, please lower these commercial breaks, bro. These commercial breaks are killing some of these shows, man. They really are. They're also killing the heat. This was dead. This was flat. We had This Is Awesome chants that died in 2 seconds. Literally. That's how fucking boring of a match it was between Jey Uso and LA Knight. Solo Sikoa walks through the crowd, distracts Knight, shoves him off the top, spikes Jimmy. Knight hits blunt force trauma out of nowhere, looking confused, and wins. Look, at the end of the day, the crowd did not care. I certainly didn't care. This match gave me no reason to care at all. Chat, you can spam boring if you felt the same. I'm serious. I'm going to be reading names out loud. We need some comments in the chat tonight, man. We really do. Let's get the chat going. The Women's Tag Team Championships. This is a Women's Tag Team Championship match. Bayley Paige defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. The match happens. Champs retain, fine. Then after the bell, Lyra turns heel on Bayley, clean in the middle of the ring. That was the only real pop all night. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all in on heel Lyra, but it should have been Bayley turning heel at the end of the day. I mean, but okay. If they don't give us a reason as to why Lyra Valkyria turned heel, then I'm gonna say I'm definitely gonna say they shouldn't turn Bayley heel. Because at least with Bayley, WWE will give us a reason why Bayley turned heel. Because Bayley has turned heel in the past. So I think it made more sense for Bayley to turn heel. But yeah, Lyra turned on Bayley clean in the middle of the ring. That was one pops all night, honestly. And Bayley backstage with Jackie Redmond later says, "I got nothing to say," and walks off, heartbroken. Now look, Bayley is a dangerous Bayley when she wants to be. But I'd say run Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley for SummerSlam. Since this is the start of a heel Lyra babyface Bayley feud. If the heel turn was good, type L. Nah, I'm just kidding. Type W, folks, not L. Type W if the heel turn was good. Type L if it was trash. Okay, next up, live chat, we got this Chad Gable redemption. So, Chad Gable calls out Alpha Academy, Otis Tozawa, Maxxine Dupri, tries to apologize for how he treated them. So, Maxxine completely rejects him to his face. Good for her. She should. Otis just stands there looking hurt. Man, my heart. Then later, Judgment Day corners Gable backstage, and Adam Pearce makes Gable versus JD McDonagh official for next week. So that's the first match for next week's Raw. I'm wondering if they're going to start off next week's Raw, which is the Night of Champions Fallout, with that match or not. Maybe. We'll see. That is going to be a hell of a fucking match. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because JD McDonagh and Gable are both solid wrestlers. They are both good at what they do in the ring. We're very much looking forward to that next week. You got Dragon Lee backstage with Rey Mysterio. Penta walks up, tells Lee, go avenge us. This was another one of the best things of this entire show. Of course, the other one was Oba Femi. One of the 4 best things. The other best thing was Chad Gable and IYO SKY. Oh, and Dragon Lee versus Paige. That's 5. Because I did tweet out and said that was the 5 best things. Oh. But yeah. We got Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page. All ego. Ego. I graded this match a solid mid-B. This was easily match highlight of the night. I didn't see any other match that would be match highlight of the night that stood out to me besides this one. And I really don't care about the tag team titles. I care more about the divisions than I do with those titles. But best pure wrestling match on the entire show. No contest. Lee was flying everywhere. Points and Ronda clean. Springboards crazy. Paige chance with the low blow to steal it. This was classic heel work. It really was. At least somebody tried tonight. Somebody did this awful show. So get hits. She is coming soon. Reminds me of that video package we got from Blake Monroe last Friday night. IYO SKY comes out for an interview. We got Liv Morgan interrupting. They brawl. IYO hits that shotgun drop kick. Stands tall going into Saturday. My grade for this was solid low B-. IYO looked like a star. Liv's world title reign is boring. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I hope to God that Stephanie comes back at Night of Champions to cost Liv Morgan so we can have this Stephanie and Liv Morgan feud continue all the way to SummerSlam. That way, Stephanie beats Liv Morgan to become the 2-time WWE World Women's Champion. Stephanie coming back to the Raw after Night of Champions as WWE World Women's Champion would instantly, that is one of the things that would instantly boost up the Raw ratings. Another thing that will boost up the Raw ratings is the return of CM Punk. You have Sheamus come back, turn Sheamus heel, we get heel Sheamus and babyface CM Punk. And then we have Oba appear on Raw as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, cutting a promo and doing his celebration. We got a couple opponents on Monday Night Raw but can defend it against. You got Sheamus, you got CM Punk. I mean, even though babyface versus babyface makes sense, but I would love to see CM Punk versus Oba Femi. I'm sorry, man. If that makes people feel bad. Hell, they need to do some kind of shakeup after the SummerSlam. I would have either Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre go to Raw we have at least heel Randy Orton and heel Drew McIntyre feuding with Oba Femi. You know what I mean? Give Oba Femi something to do as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And have Kevin Owens, put Kevin Owens on SmackDown. Kevin Owens to SmackDown and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre to Raw. Because Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre everything on SmackDown. Come to think of it, I think Raw stuff. I would have Tony D'Angelo drop him up to SmackDown, man, at least. Something. Because Raw needs CM Punk more than SmackDown right now. SmackDown needs guys like Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, Ray Phoenix, Ilya Dragunov, and Kevin Owens. You know, guys like that. I think after SummerSlam, WWE might want to start calling more guys the main roster, man. The roster. You know, you already got Chad Gable and Finn Balor and the Viking. Maybe. I don't know. But still, that's just what I think. But definitely Liv Morgan versus Stephanie for the World Women's Champion at SummerSlam Night 1 or Night 2. Either way, it's a rematch, but at least Stephanie will win it from Liv Morgan. Please, anything to get that title off of Liv Morgan. Seriously. Not saying Liv Morgan's a bad wrestler or anything, but her title reign is just ice cold, man. Do it, WWE. The Usos pull up on Jacob Fatu about having him go. Fatu looks at Jimmy and Jey cold and says, I only answer to Roman Reigns. Chat popped for that line. Now, is Roman coming back at Night of Champions? Do y'all think he's coming back? Yes or no? JD McDonagh and Dominic Mysterio run into Danhausen backstage. Hausen curses. Dude got electrocuted live on TV. Even though it wasn't interesting, it was the funniest thing on the whole 3 hours. I mean, I'm not going to lie there. Liv Morgan backstage with Judgment Day tells Raquel Rodriguez, go chase the women's Intercontinental title, and completely ignores Roxanne Perez standing right next to her. Roxanne turn is coming. So if y'all want to write it down and screen out the stream, up to you. Also, separately, we'll go over the good parts and the bad parts coming out of the show. So that way y'all get an idea of what I really liked on the show and what I really didn't like. Some of you already know because I did tweet out my thoughts on everything on Twitter X. The rest of you just rather listen to me find out or find out by listening to me. Roxanne turn, like I said, her turn is coming soon, man. Just wait until she get a massive pop when she turns on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and the entire Judgment Day faction. I'm telling you, man, if WWE books her right, if WWE doesn't fumble her, she is going to be one of the best top baby faces of that entire Monday Night Raw women's roster. WWE World Tag Team Championship match. This match gave me no reason to care. And I will explain to y'all why. The Vision, Braun Breaker, and Austin Theory versus the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins at ringside the whole time. Honestly, my grade was mid. Only good coming out of this match, Street Profits, Theory, Breaker. Did I do not care what anybody says. That's what I fucking think. Let's be honest. Who the fuck are the Street Profits going to defend those tag titles against? There's nobody in that tag division that I can see the Street Profits defending against. Why? Because, again, both divisions are dead. And this is why WWE needs to take the time to merge the division and have merged both the tag divisions and have one set of tag titles. Just one, not two, one. Because having two sets of tag titles, to me, it doesn't. I want to go ahead and throw that out there now. But anyways, Profits hit the blockbuster Doomsday device. Paul puts Theory's foot on the rope. Referee ejects Paul. He is furious. Later, Breaker throws steel steps in the ring. Dawkins slides off. Joe Henry runs out and chases Logan Paul to the back. Huge pop. Theory grabs the brass knuckles. Paul left behind. Seth Rollins' music hits. Rollins comes through the crowd, punches Theory in the face with the knucks. And then Breaker chases him off. Dawkins hits the anointment and then forward with a huge frog splash. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Street Profits are your new WWE World Tag Team Champions. Like I said, man, I'm not going to care until the tag divisions on both brands are merged, until they have one set of tag titles. Till then, no. I don't care. I don't care. This gives me no reason to say, oh, yeah, the Street Profits winning is the greatest decision ever. It doesn't give me the reason to say it. It just don't. Folks, it's not that deep, man. I just want a better show, better product, better tag division. I want to see fresh new stories and fresh new, matches. We want to see fresh new rosters too. I know y'all do. I know y'all want to see talent get switched to different brands to see how they do. Let me know what you guys think on the Street Profits becoming a new WWE World Tag Team Champions. Like I said, I am happy for Ford and Dawkins, but who are they even going to fight next? Like I said, chat, please, 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 tell me who is left, man. My answer is nobody. That was your Night of Champions. Go home. Mid-C, garbage, awful show. Tell me in the live chat whether I'm wrong or not. You can even tell me in the comments when the string gets processed. Just drop your match of the night because I want to know from you guys personally. Drop your show drop your show grades A to F. I'm going to be reading every single one out loud because we're going to argue about it for the next hour before I get into my full King of the Ring finals breakdown on why Oba is the only option to beat Jey Uso and then some. Now, let's go ahead and talk about why Oba Femi beating Jey to win the whole King of the Ring is the best creative ever, and why Jey winning is the worst decision ever. Listen, man. I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can. So hear me out, folks. So it's simple. It's because we don't have to worry about getting Jey versus Cody for SummerSlam Night 2 because we all know that Jey versus Cody makes 0 sense. I mean, we've seen that match many times. It's not exciting, and I don't even think it's a premium live event level kind of match, to be honest. But if Jey wins this whole thing, I am going to die 1,000 deaths on that hill. I'm telling you. Seriously, folks, I've been saying all this on Twitter X since last week. And I'm going to repeat it here again. Trust me, I know more than what I'm saying. Remember when I said I've been watching wrestling ever since I was a kid? Trust me, I know when the booking, creative, and writing is bad. I know when the writing is good. I know when the shows are good. I know when the matches are good. I know when they're bad. I know when the stories are progressing and not. I know what grade to give everything. But I'm telling you right now, the reason why Oba is the only option is because Roman Reigns is out of opponents. Dead serious. Question is, who the hell is left for him? We have run through everybody 3 times over. Oba has earned it. In my opinion, anyway. He has been dominant since day one. He looks like a final boss. He talks like a king already. Fresh match, fresh story, fresh money. I've been saying it in the comments on Twitter X. Yeah, I seen the wrestling sources tweeting out, about, related to Jey versus Oba Femi and stuff. I've seen everything on Twitter X. Look, not only this is a fresh match for a story of money, it also sets up Oba Femi versus Roman perfectly for SummerSlam. That is the match, man. That is the one right there. In my eyes. Nobody's going to stop me from believing that. Not even these podcasters out here. And the freaking bot accounts on Twitter X, the fake IWC bot accounts online. Please do not give me Rollins versus Reigns again. No, 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 no. I am begging you, WWE, do not give me that match. Rollins versus Reigns is played the fuck out. We got this match in 2022. Nobody needs a rerun at SummerSlam, dude. I do not care how good the video package is. I do not care how good the heel Reigns babyface Seth Rollins feud was back in the day. I have seen it. I lived it. Moved on. Oba versus Reigns at SummerSlam is new. It is big. It actually gives Roman a real opponent, like I said, who looks him in the eye and does not blink. A monster versus a tribal chief. The ruler, the destroyer, the bull. Going up against the big dog. The guy that wreaks havoc, man. The OTC. Head of the table. Mr. Acknowledged Man himself. Size versus legacy, man. New era versus old era. That sells itself. That is fucking box office. And no disrespect to JD, I do. He is one of my main inspirations. He's one of my favorite podcasters in the entire IWC. No disrespect, but I think this match sells itself. I think it's better. I think it's better than Roman versus Rollins, Cody versus Jey. Hell, even Cody versus Sammy is better than Cody versus Jey. I wouldn't mind Cody versus Sammy for the undisputed WWE Championship. That's the match that needs to be on night 2. Another match right there. When I saw JD's when I saw his review the other Monday, he said that they should leave the finals vacant. I disagree with that. I think Oba should win it. That's what I think. There's no reason why Jey should win this. It makes no sense. It creatively makes no sense. It's lazy booking. It's a lazy decision. We all can agree, even he can agree. We all can agree that Jey Uso should not win it at all. But new era versus old era, it sells itself. It's box office, and this is what I love about Oba versus Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know, trust me, the Bloodline feud, the stuff is stalling. I agree. I agree that they shouldn't be giving us the same Bloodline stuff we got for 5-6 years. We do need something new coming out of the Bloodline. And please, we do not need a Bloodline war for Survivor Series. We don't need that. We really don't. We need something new. Maybe something long term. Something that'll get the fans on their feet. Something that'll have excitement, hype, feel to it. Something that the creative and writers will go with. That something that they would enjoy. Something that we as fans would enjoy. Something that the YouTube wrestling content creators would enjoy. Something the podcasters would enjoy. WWE can't be giving us what they want. They have to give us what we as fans want. Do I feel like they care? No. Do we care about the shows? Yeah. So what does that tell you? That tells you that we care more about the talent, more about Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, and AAA more than the WWE administration, the Triple H administration, the Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, Evolve, NXT, and AAA creative and writers and the people that books those shows. So yeah, WWE's got to make sure their creative booking and writing is on point, because some weeks their creative booking and writing has been on point, other weeks it haven't. It hasn't. I'm gonna be honest. Friday Night SmackDown was a disaster last week. Meanwhile, Raw and NXT last week actually delivered. They were actually solid B shows. Evolve was a solid low B minus. AAA was the best show of them all. AAA easily cleared Raw, NXT, Evolve, and SmackDown last week. Trust me, I was live for episode 23. I know. I was live for it. Y'all can go listen to the watch along right now. I have it on the channel. It got 4 likes and 215 views. What does that tell you? It tells you clearly that it was exciting, and it clearly tells you right there that I enjoyed it. And it was one of the best AAA episodes that I've watched in recent memory. I mean, come on. How can you not enjoy a banger of a freaking AAA Cruiserweight triple threat match between Rey Fenix, Lindsay Dorado, and Laredo Kid, man? That match was match highlight tonight, and it stole the show. And what was even better was that El Grande Americano is going after Dominique for that AA Mega Championship, because we all know Dominique's title reign is terrible, and it needs to end. And we had Piros Del Mar coming out, putting down El Grande Americano and further damaging him. That is how you debut a fucking faction, man. I don't care what anybody says, for real. I said this on my AA watch along last Saturday, and here I am saying it again. Best show of the entire week last week, AAA. 1000%. I cannot wait to be live for the next episode. Looking forward to what they got going on next. As of right now, Lola Vice versus La Hedra for the NXT Women's Championship is the only thing that's been announced. I made my prediction as to what matches or what segments they should put on there. I guessed it, though. I didn't really, you know what I mean. So, here's how we book it clean in terms of night one of SummerSlam. In terms of Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. Because remember, I said Oba versus Reigns at SummerSlam is new. It's big. It actually gives Roman a real opponent who looks him in the eyes and does not blink. Monster versus Tribal Chief. The Ruler Destroyer, the Brink of War versus Size versus Legacy. The Ruler Destroyer, Brink of War versus Tribal Chief. Head of the table, Big Dog. Whatever y'all want to call it. Leader of the Shield. New era versus old era. I love that. Roman Reigns versus Oba. It's there, man. It's there. All they got to do is make the right decision to have Oba win. The story is there for Oba versus Reigns. The feud is there. The match is there. Soon as next month get here, you got at least 4 weeks to pretty much build this feud. This feud has 4 weeks as soon as it starts. If it ever happens, which I'm hoping it does, because we do not need Jey versus Cody. I'm telling you now. So, night one of SummerSlam, folks, you feed Brock Lesnar to Oba Femi. You let Oba toss Brock around. F5 the Beast. Pin him clean in the middle. I'd have Oba Femi use Brock Lesnar's move. Shit. Copy Brock Lesnar, man. That'd have Brock Lesnar angry. F5 Brock Lesnar, and then maybe do Fall from Grace and do it again. Pin him clean in the middle. Build him up like an absolute killer going into night 2. The crowd is going to be nuclear. Then night 2, you run Oba Femi versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Femi takes that title off of Reigns clean in the main event. That writes itself. Coronation complete. King of the Ring becomes king of the company. Same night 2, you run Cody versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Full circle story. Sami Zayn finally gets his real shot. 2 world title matches that actually feel fresh. No repeats, no leftovers. This is why Oba beating Jey Saturday at Night of Champions to win King of the Ring is the best career decision ever. It makes perfect sense, honestly. It elevates a brand new star. It gives Roman a real challenger. It saves SummerSlam from another 2022 rerun. Jey Uso ready. And I'm going to say this one last time. It is the worst decision ever because, listen, Yeet does not need a crown. Jey is already over. Already March King. Already main evented. King of the Ring does nothing for him. Absolutely zero. Nothing. It just wastes the whole tournament and kills Oba's momentum dead for no reason. I mean, we've seen how they lazily booked the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. They just randomly put talent on there instead of taking the time to decide who they actually going to put on there, who deserves to be on there, and who don't. You know what I'm saying? Look, I do not want safe. I want Oba. Give me Oba Femi, King of the Ring. Give me Oba versus Brock night 1. Give me Oba versus Roman Reigns night 2 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Let the ruler rule. Tell me live chat. Am I lying or telling the truth? Let me know. Now, I've seen news floating around on the Ruca Blackout Twitter after Backlash over Liv Morgan injury. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on this whole Ruca Blackout Twitter after the Liv Morgan injury scaredness. Because let me tell you, man, this internet wrestling community fan base online is out of control again, dude. WWE fan base, the crowd. There may be a crowd of people that have Twitter X, but I'm saying I'm tired of it. So for everybody who missed it, put on some background music here, man. Gonna be wrapping it up and getting out of here in a few minutes. WWE Birmingham live event. Liv Morgan defended in a fatal four-way match against Ruca, Lyra Valkyria, and IYO SKY. Ruca hits a splash and then catches Liv around the ankle, bends at a nasty ankle on camera. Liv rolls straight out the ring, hurt, limping bad. She fights back in, finishes the match hurt. Roxanne Perez literally has to help place her over Valkyria for the pin just to get the win. Yeah, that looked bad. That looked really, really bad. I don't wish nothing on nobody like that. Her title reign is terrible, but I don't wish nothing on a superstar getting injured. No. I sincerely hope she is okay. I really do. Because that looked rough. That looked like a big time leg injury or ankle injury. So after the bell, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne had to help Liv to the back, ankle wrapped, limping the whole way. The clip hits Twitter, and within an hour, the entire timeline is calling Ruca unsafe. Jeez Louise. I know the Ruca fans were heated after that. So, not only the entire timeline called Ruca unsafe, reckless, burying her, death threats in her mentions, a whole garbage cycle we do every single time. Somebody gets banged up, and it got so bad that Soul blacked out her profile picture. Locked her Twitter private, went dark completely, and now that is the story instead of Liv's health. Now listen, chat. Listen to everybody that's listening to me, that's watching. Accidents happen in the ring every single night. This is a fatal four-way live event match. Bodies everywhere. Timing is split. Second, Soul did not try to hurt Liv. That was a bad landing on a splash. That is it. You people have got to stop sending these death threat messages to Soul Ruca. It's doing nothing but hurting her feelings and running her away. It's exactly what it's doing. Stop sending that girl death threats over a work angle scare. You people are weird for that. And to the people that's doing that, need to go touch grass because that's not right. Seriously. Liv Morgan is tough as nails. She finished the match limping, got the win, walked out with Raquel and Roxanne helping her. I don't have a real WWE medical update yet. I don't even think Ringside News has it or Fightful has it yet. But if they do, I'll let y'all know. But it is an injury scare until Triple H or Adam Pearce says otherwise. So these online accounts, man, on Twitter X, these internet wrestling community accounts, they need to stop diagnosing her ankle from a 12-second fan cam clip, man. Let the doctors work. The timing could not be worse because Liv is supposed to be on Raw talking about her Queen of the Ring final against IYO SKY. That whole tournament. is on the line. Which she was there. She was there. IYO SKY drop kicked Liv Morgan, and IYO SKY stood tall. We went over that. She was able to make it there. Everybody panicked, though. I mean, I get it. We all panic. We all do it, but dragging Ruca off the internet is just taking it too far. It's not going to heal Liv's ankle any faster. So is young. She is still learning TV timing. In my eyes, she's definitely one of the most athletic women on the whole Raw Women's roster. She was one of the most athletic women on the whole NXT Women's roster. One bad spot does not make you unsafe, folks. You have to go rewatch half the main roster botch reel from last year. Even JD retweeted this. He even posted the video of it. I seen it. And I actually commented on his tweet of the video. And I quote tweeted it as well. And I'm going to tell y'all what I had to say about it as soon as I pull it up. There it is. So I commented and said the crowd went dead silent because that's exactly what happened. Hope it's not serious. I even quote tweeted. I even quote tweeted this, man, because it really had us worried that she may be out. That was a serious situation, no question about it. I quote tweeted and said that landing looked rough. Hoping she's okay. The crowd went silent fast, like I said. Wow. Like, it still shook me to the core how bad that landing was, though. I mean, that was like a freaking earthquake, like a volcano coming down a freaking mountain. Like, for real. That's like getting struck by lightning, man. That's how rough that was. But freeze, please relax, people. Don't be those fans. At least send Liv some love, send Soul love, wait for the real WWE update on Raw. And if, well, the update is that Liv showed up and she got drop kicked and IYO will stand tall. So, Liv versus IYO SKY is still happening. But at the end of the day, health over everything. And, that's my take on the Soul Ruca situation. People need to stop harassing wrestlers over accidents, period, man. It's just, it's getting out of hand. It really is. It just shows how bad of a human being people really are, or how bad of human beings people really are. But anyways, moving on to the news on I'm saving Mike Santana for last. But let's move on to the news on WWE's plans for Rey Fenix AAA Cruiserweight title reign review. My thoughts on it, the good and the bad. So according to Fightful, or not Fightful, but False Finish, I said Fightful earlier, and now I'm saying Fightful again. But seriously though, according to False Finish, this is about to be a real run for the AA Cruiserweight champion Rey Fenix. Not just a cool AAA pop and drop. They want to do with Fenix and that Cruiserweight belt exactly what they are doing with Penta in the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. Full WWE TV spotlight, real title defenses, real story. And folks, the good is really good. And the bad is classic. WWE booking if they fumble it. The bad is classic if WWE book it if they fumble it. The good coming out of this, Rey Fenix finally beating Lyra Kid. Like I said, it was the match highlight of the night. One of the best matches of that episode. Probably the only best match of that episode, to be honest. But him beating Lyra Kid at AAA Noche de los Grandes after Kid cheated for months to hold that belt. That win felt earned. Since then, Fenix has already defended it against Alzium, which should have been on AAA, not SmackDown, and they ended up doing it on SmackDown. Against Lyra Kid again in a rematch. Against Lindsay Dorado. 3 real workers, 3 real styles. All bangers. That tells me AA and WWE are actually keeping him busy and not letting that title collect dust in a suitcase. Hopefully they can keep on using Rey Fenix instead of having him in catering all the time and the sidelines. Like where Ilya Dragunov and Jordan Grace are right now. And Johnny Gargano cancels Rey. Fortunately, sadly. Now he is defending the AA Cruiserweight title against Nathan Frazier on the June 26th SmackDown on actual WWE TV. That is huge. That is the Penta IC title treatment right there. Cross brand, cross promotion, Lucha on network TV and prime time. Fenix versus Frazier is going to steal that whole damn show, man. I promise y'all, it really is. Even though a babyface versus babyface dynamic makes no sense, and we know a heel versus heel dynamic makes no sense. That's why I say they should have went with Carmelo Hayes winning that United States #1 contenders match. That way, you got a babyface versus a heel, not a heel versus a heel. At that point, the fans wouldn't know who the fucking cheer and who to boo. They're gonna cheer Trick Williams thinking he's a babyface when clearly he's not. He used to be a babyface on NXT. Ricky Saints used to be a babyface on NXT as well, but that doesn't give a reason for them to book a heel versus a heel match for the United States Championship. Now here's the bad. And chat, this is where you tell me if I'm hatting or not. I'm scared they are going to hot potato this belt for WWE moments and never let Fenix actually build a real AA legacy reign with it. Because if you are defending it every week on SmackDown against NXT guys or SmackDown guys, when do you go back to Mexico City and defend it in AAA where it actually means something? I do not personally want this to turn into a 24/7 brawl where it just gets passed around for pops. We all know how boring the 24/7 championship shit was back then. Fenix deserves a real dominant run after everything he went through to take it off Laredo Kid. I'm also worried that they are going to book him to lose it to Fraser clean on free TV, just to pretty much pop a rating and kill all the momentum cold. They don't need to do that. They need to let Fenix cook. If they actually commit, if they really give Fenix that Penta IC level spotlight, weekly defenses, big entrances, let him work. Alzium, Fraser, Dragon League. Hell, put him in. Well, nah, it ain't gonna work. Because Santos Escobar's not there anymore. I was gonna say his name, but nah, he's not there. Let him work with Alzion Fraser Dragon League. Hell, put him with Ilya Dragunov. That's somebody that needs TV time. He's been in catering for long. Or Johnny Gargano. Shoot. But at the end of the day, it is definitely going to be the strongest stretch of Ray's entire career. And the AA Cruiserweight title becomes must watch every Friday. That is a good thing. That is what I want, and I'm sure that is what y'all want too. But WWE, if you are listening, please do not turn this into a hot potato toy. I'm telling you right now. Protect Rey Fenix. Let him run. Is Rey Fenix about to have a run of his life, or are they about to fumble another Cruiserweight belt? Make sure y'all drop y'all's takes when the string gets processed. Or you can drop them in the live chat. Now, let's go ahead and address this Mike Santana, TNA future amid WWE interest. Gonna go over my thoughts on that and the good and the bad coming out of that. Why I'm going over this? Because Santana finally addressed it himself. But at the same time, I got good and bad feelings about the whole thing. I don't think I'm tripping, though. The good is obvious. Mike Santana is hot right now. Like top guy in TNA. Impact. I can't believe I'm even saying it. You know, Impact just lost Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard, and Tommy Dreamer, right? Impact. Why am I even mentioning? Why am I even bringing this up, man? Why? Holy shit, man. Nobody watches Impact, man. Nobody watches that shit, man. If you watch that shit, God bless you, man. I'm telling you. It is the worst, one of the worst promotions in all of pro wrestling. I cannot see how anybody is watching this shit, especially when Tommy Dreamer, Blanchard, Sami Callihan, Steve Macklin, and Mayla Grace are all gone. They're replacing Tommy Dreamer with Delirious as head of creative. And Road Dogg is rumored to be there too. Lord Jesus. Here is why nobody is watching Impact in 2026. Oh my goodness. First of all, the creative is a miss. Even the roster doesn't believe it improved after moving to AMC in January. Steve was very outspoken about it before he left. Number two, no money for talent. Most wrestlers aren't on full deals. TNA prefers short-term per appearances, contracts. That's why Mustafa Ali isn't even signed. On top of that, to make things worse, AMC didn't help. They moved from Axis to AMC January 15th, 2026, hoping for a big step up. Fans are still shitting on creative. I don't blame them. That's what I do from time to time. Not all the time, though, but sometimes. Constant exodus. The Rascals' contracts expired end of 2025. Jordan Grace, Josh Alexander, Speedball, PCO, they all left since late 2024. Yeah. Jesus Christ. This fucking promotion is horrendous garbage with zero creative direction or excitement at all. Dreamer, Tessa, Sammy, all gone in 48 hours. Folks, you can't make that shit up. This was last week. And guess what? Guess what else I found out last week? And we're going to go back to the Mike Santana stuff. According to PW Insider, production got cut too. And this is how you know TNA is really doing a full workforce reduction speed run in June 2026. That's not going to be enough to get the audience back. They got to do more than just that. Sure, they need to work on better in their creative booking and writing first before they do all that stuff they talking about doing. And yet they've been through like 6 rebrands. TNA, Impact, GFW, Impact again, TNA again in 2024. The constant regime changes, man. This shit is weird booking, man, and budget cuts. And the fact that I mentioned weird booking and budget cuts, it's like it gave it no playing vibe for years. Live chat, even the diehard fans clowned the hashtag Lala TNA era. The laugh out loud TNA era, in other words. Yeah. Woo! I feel sorry for this production. Holy cow, man. That's pretty bad when your own stars have gone from the company, man. Yeah, I got nothing else to say, man. I'm gonna move on. We're moving back on to the Mike Santana stuff. Woo! When I tell you they got a lot of work to do, man, It's embarrassing. I'm glad the WWE is not like Impact. I don't even think AEW would want to be like Impact. I mean, they have their ups and downs too, but they ain't something like Impact is. I mean, in the rating wise, yeah, but you know. Shit happens sometimes though, you know. But the Impact got to get themselves together, man, if they want to get back to being the top brand in sports entertainment. But back to Mike Santana. Like I said, he's that top guy in TNA, man. WWE sniffing around, of course they are. And that is what happens when you bet on yourself and it pays off. And interest means his stock is all the way up. With the TNA WWE partnership already open, NXT crossovers happening every other week. The jump is cleaner than it has ever been in history. He would not be walking into a cold room. People knew who Mike Santana is. That is a WrestleMania payday right there. That is main roster money right there. That is security for his family. I can never be mad. I'm hoping y'all don't never be mad either. At a man for taking that call. That is the good right now. The bad, this is where some of y'all get nervous. I don't know if I want to get nervous or not, but is TNA letting Santana cook right now? Like real top guy, creative, freedom cook, main event spots, real stories that mean something. I mean, you go to WWE and what happens? You get renamed. You sit in NXT for a year doing prove yourself matches. Then you get called up and you are tag team number 4 on SmackDown with no music. Now we have watched this movie 100 freaking times with TNA guys going over there. Honestly, I don't want Santana to leave TNA right when TNA is actually hard again. But you know what? I don't even watch Impact, so it would be an honor to see Mike Santana on WWE television because Mike Santana, that is a money. He's money. That's a main event guy right there. That's a main eventer. If WWE books him right and doesn't fumble him, he will be successful in WWE. I mean, you got the WWE door already open where he can go do NXT dates and still be the guy in TNA. Why give that up? Well, Santana himself said he is locked in on TNA right now. Focused on what is in front of him and loves what he is at. Did not close the door on anything long term, which is exactly what he should say. Keep your opinions open. Bet on yourself. But hey, man, if I am Santana, I am staying where I am until WWE puts real main roster money and a real creative plan on paper. I mean, that's just me. Even I don't watch TNA and I'm saying this. Now they come to the Performance Center and we will figure out, oh, I mean, good is the leverage. The buzzer, the bag is real if he wants it. And honestly, bad is you pretty much leave a place to maybe be guy number 37. I want Santana to eat. I just want him to eat at the head table, not the kids' table. Chat, hopefully I'm not, in your eyes, I'm not wrong. But should Santana jump to WWE if that call comes, or stay in TNA and run the whole place? Let me know what y'all think. Honestly, folks, that's it, man. I'm done for the night. That is it for your Monday Night Raw review. And in terms of going over the dudes on Soul Ruca, Ray Fenix and Mike Santana. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at the Villain IWN. I also have a Facebook page named IWN that you guys can follow. I pretty much post my content, links to my watch alongs, and I tweet and quote tweet my thoughts and opinions and takes on the news that I see on Twitter X, in the internet wrestling community, and on Facebook, from sources like Ringside News, False Fame, yada yada. If I see any news, any important news tomorrow, we are going to go over all that, and I'm going to give my thoughts as well as my take on those. And good and bad. And actually, I'm not done yet. I want to go over the good and the bad parts. We're gonna do a little Raw recap here before I get out of here, because I want to go over the good and bad parts so y'all will know. So y'all will fully know. Because I know some of you are just now tuning in. Because I see I've been getting new audience coming in and out. So I will be putting the timestamps in the description like I've been doing last week with all my other watch alongs. So that way you can hear your favorite parts, or if you just want to hear me go over my overall thoughts and grade, or go over the news on, Mike Santana and Soul Ruca. All that will be time-stamped in the description. Since some of y'all are actually liking the fact that I'm doing that, I will keep doing it. Because I know that's very important. Just like your support and hitting the thumbs up and sharing the stream, spreading the word is very important as well. Now, the subscription. I had 940 subscribers the other day, and then it went down to 939, and then it went back up to 940, and then it went down to 938. So my subscription list has been going up and down, up and down, up and down, the numbers. I get people try to see if my channel is interesting or not. I try. I do the best I can, I give y'all what y'all want to hear. The IWN YouTube channel is all about giving you truth, takes, opinions, watch alongs, results, watch parties, and reviews. I mostly do watch alongs and watch parties and results though. The reason why I did a Monday Night Raw review is because the card looked bad. The card looked mid-C, and I just did not. I decided to go with a review instead of a watch along. I decided I'm not gonna sit through that whole fucking 2 hours just to watch a mid-C garbage show. I'm not doing that shit again. I am so tired of it. And if NXT is like that tomorrow, I may do an NXT review. I may change it from watch along to an NXT review. Seriously. I'm tired of sitting through these terrible shows, man. I really am. It's a waste of time. It's just too much. So much negativity, man, sometimes. Oh. That's why I wish the shows would get better, man. The writing team needs to change. Creative booking needs to change, man. On SmackDown and Evolve. And on NXT just a little bit. You know, Monday Night Raw is still sitting at number 1 on my TV rankings list. I haven't changed it yet. AA is still sitting at number 2. Meanwhile, I have NXT sitting at number 3, Evolve at number 4, and SmackDown at number 5. And actually, we're also going to go over the NXT card because I know y'all want to know about that. And I actually didn't get to put out my predictions for Raw, but that's okay. I didn't have time to do that. So, let's go over the good and bad parts, and we'll go over the NXT card, and I'm going to get out of here for real this time. So, the good coming out of Raw was short, but it hit hard. Lyra snapping on Bayley after that women's tag title match with Brie Bella and Paige. That heel turn was clean. I'm not going to lie. That was one of the good things of Monday Night Raw. I didn't even add that to my list of good things. I don't know why. Should have. But the match itself was not that good. Now, the one real needle mover on the whole 3 hours. Bayley going silent with Jackie Redmond afterwards sold it even more. Like I said, run Lyra versus Bayley at SummerSlam. Let Lyra cook. The Street Profits finally winning those tag titles off the Vision is good because the Vision needs to WWE needs to work on doing a Vision breakup storyline or something because they need to break up the Vision. That's the same thing I said about Dark State. Same thing I said about Judgment Day. Now, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Oh, yeah. Even the same thing I said about MFTs. Thought I'd bring that up, too. But anyways, Dawkins and Montez Ford earned that pop. Joe Hendry sprinting out to chase Logan Paul to the back. Honestly, I didn't really care too much about that. The Seth Rollins sliding in through the crowd with the breast knuckles and dropping Austin Theory, and you had Ford with a huge frog splash for the win. That right there, that frog splash, I feel like that was the only real good moment all night. And then winning those tag titles. Thank God. I don't know about the Seth Rollins sliding in with the crowd shit and Joe Hendry sprinting out of the chase Logan Paul. Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page was the actual match of the night. Like I said when I was going over my going over the review, I'm so used to going over overall thoughts and grade. I'm so used to saying that. But Lee was flying everywhere, man. Like I said, Poison Rana clean. He had to cheat with the low blow to steal it. That was another good part of Monday Night Raw. IYO SKY standing tall over Liv Morgan with that shotgun drop kick, like I was saying. Heading into Night of Champions. IYO looked like a star again. That was another good thing. Jacob Fatu staring Jimmy and Jey dead in the face, saying, "I only answered the Roman Reigns." Crowd woke up for that one line. That Danhausen putting that curse on JD McDonagh, that just did not interest me at all. I can tell you right now, that is not on my list of good parts. It was hilarious, but just wasn't, it was uninteresting. Now, Maxxine Dupri, on the other hand, telling Chad Gable no to his face in front of Alpha Academy, that was good for her, and she should. I mean, that was the good list. Short, but, it was there. Here's the bad, and then I'm going to try to pull up the card for NXT and give you guys the card for that show. And I'm going to get out of here, for real. Because it's already about to be 12:30 in the morning here. The bad is why the whole show gets a mid-seed garbage grade from me. I went over the Raw review, so if you want to listen to it, man, rewind the stream. Or if you want to wait till the timestamps get put in the description, you can do that. LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso for the 100th time. This was one of the bad parts of Raw. I mean that in a serious way. This was flat crowd by 2 hour, commercial break killed kind of shit. Whatever heat was left. Sol Ruca interference, or not Sol Ruca, but Sikoa interference. Finish again. Honestly, dude, I'm so sick of the bloodline run-ins, dude. Deciding every big match on a go-home show. Give us, like I said, give us fresh matches. Give us something actually new that's actually going to, boost up the Raw ratings. Make the men's division stand out and on top again, Give us something long-term booking. Long-term booking story. Another bad part of the show was the women's tag title match itself. It was forgettable outside the post-match angle. We already went over that. The whole tag division on Raw and SmackDown is still on life support, even with new champs. Not the part where they get taken to not the part where they get put in the ambulance and taken to the hospital. No, not that. I'm not even trying to be funny when I say it. Not what I meant by life support at all. Now, like I said, who are the Street Profits actually going to defend against? There is nobody left, like I said. Like I've been saying probably 2-3 times already on the stream. Liv Morgan's title reign put me to sleep. That was another bad part of the show. That's one of the lowest things on Monday Night Raw right now. Please, WWE let EO take that belt off of Liv Saturday. I freaking something. No. Actually, no. We need Stephanie to come in and cost Liv Morgan. Let IYO SKY win the entire Queen of the Ring tournament. Never mind IYO SKY beating Liv Morgan to take that belt off her. The only person that should be beating Liv Morgan to take that belt off of her at SummerSlam is Stephanie. I literally said earlier on the stream that book Stephanie versus Liv Morgan for the World Women's Championship and have her beat on the folks. The bottom line is we had more bad parts than we did with good parts. Too many run-ins, too many rematches. Too many rest holds, dead crowd in 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever hours you want to call it for Raw. This was definitely a 2-hour Raw. This was a go-home show that left me, and I'm sure it left you guys, hyped, less hyped, not more hyped, for Night of Champions than I was last Monday. I'm pretty much saying last Monday's episode of Raw was better than this week's episode of Raw. But the fact that a go-home show that left me less hyped for Night of Champions than I was last Monday should tell you that it's bad booking. And it was a failed go-home show. That right there is the ultimate reason why the bad outweighs the good by a mile. That is it, folks. I am done. If you enjoyed this review, man, let me know. I'm going to be putting up a voting poll asking asking you guys to cast your vote on the Monday Night Raw Night of Champion Go Home Show. Be putting up a voting poll asking you guys how I did with my Monday Night. Thank y'all so much for being here and for listening. I appreciate the support I'm getting. I appreciate the likes I'm getting as well. Keep it up. Keep on hitting the like button. Keep on sharing the streams. Your sharing to the stream matters. Spreading the word matters, man. Getting others to tune in matters. You guys are the only reason why I still have this YouTube channel. The only reason why I keep going. Y'all are the reasons for that. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you all. Take care. See y'all live for the NXT Great American Bash Go Home Show. Timestamps will be in the description. Make sure you turn on the closed caption thing. This is to my international fans. You know, to auto-translate to your languages. You know all that. So, deuces. Have a great rest of y'all's Tuesday or Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. Have a great rest of y'all's Tuesday afternoon. See y'all live for NXT Great American Bash Go Home Show this Tuesday night. Oh, the card. Shit. Good thing I said that. I almost forgot. I'm about to go crazy. The card for the Go Home Show. We have right now Aaron Ward versus Tristan Angels for the Evolve Championship, which there's no reason why this should be booked on NXT. It should be booked on Evolve. But you know what? AEW's doing this negotiation to where now Lola Vice can defend her NXT Women's Championship. But it still doesn't make sense to me. It still should have been on Evolve. But Evolve Section 3 is this week, and I can understand why they did. Why they booked it. It's going to be one of the more solid matches of the entire NXT episode if there's no interferences. At least Tristan Angels is not a bad wrestler. His gimmick is bad, but he ain't a bad wrestler. It's boring, put it that way. Got AK Prosper versus Canu Carver. Canu Carver is dominating Prosper. Prosper is not winning this match. Prepare to be destroyed, EK. Prepare to be doomed. Might as well prepare a casket and a funeral because EK Prosper is not making it out of this match against Kenneth Carr. That dude is maintenance, man. He's a monster. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's one of the dangerous wrestlers of the entire NXT men's division. Kendall Gray, that'll be one of the best things of the entire show, in my opinion. Ruca signed a contract for the Great American Bash. You know, Tony D'Angelo to be defending the NXT Championship against Ruca at that premium live event. And NXT is airing the Great American Bash. It's airing at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on CW. And it'll be airing on Netflix internationally as well. I think I'm gonna go with Netflix internationally because I don't got that headset outlet. It's a head jack outlet, and see, my wired earbuds are different, so I would have to watch it on the laptop. And then we got the lowest match of the entire card, which is Izzy Dane versus Ariana Grace. Yeah. I read reactions for tweeting that this match is awful because it is definitely going to be boring and awful in a bad, disturbing way. Creators should be ashamed of themselves going with a Speed Women's tournament again. Knowing this match is not going to steal the show. I'm just throwing it out there. And then you opt to bury and waste Thea Hall and Layla Diggs on top of that. As talented as these two women are, and you waste them. Same thing with Jada Parker when she lost to Natalya. This is why I said NXT and Evolve needs to book their women better. Seriously. Izzy versus Ariana Grace is lazy and bad booking. You can book these two women better than that. Come on. If the booking was better, these two women probably would have had a better match. Nope. That ain't the case. Nah. We're getting another solid NXT tomorrow. The card does not look that bad. Outside of that women's speed tournament match. So this is either going to be, my great prediction is either going to be a solid low B minus show or a solid mid B show. I think it's going to be a solid mid B show because most of that stuff on that card is going to deliver. Like I said, outside the women's speed tournament match. And maybe some other things on that show that might not be interesting. But I could definitely tell you that the Evolve Championship match, the NXT Women's Championship contract signing, and Ruca signing the contract for the NXT Championship match will be the best things of that entire show. So be on the lookout for those things because those things are going to steal the show. Those are going to be highlights of the NXT Great American Bash Go Home show. And Cannon Carver, of course. And K Prosper, he's not bad either, so if they book it right and make this an interesting match between Cannon Carver and EK Prosper, I mean, at least let EK Prosper do some damage to Cannon Carver. I know he's a big man, but don't just give EK Prosper a darn 1 minute match and then waste him, man. Oh, come on. We don't need to see all that. Come on. At that point, EK Prosper loses, you're basically sending him back to catering. It doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to be in catering. He needs to be on TV winning matches. Just like Shawn Legacy. You know, it's how Shawn Legacy was winning matches on Evolve, losing matches, winning matches. You know. But my grade predictions will be tweeted out on Twitter X YouTube community tab, and all three of my Facebook accounts, including my two Facebook accounts and one, which is the other one, which is my Facebook page, IWN. Predictions will be put out going into that show. So thank y'all for tuning in and listening. And good morning. And have a great rest of y'all's afternoon. Also, good night, because I'm going to bed.